So I don't know about you, but my family always gathered around the table. Always, for everything, whether it was breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, doing homework, playing games, playing with puzzles. The family table seemed to be the place where we would all gather, where we would all chat, where we would all come together as a family and get to know each other and share our days and share about ourselves and share what's been going on and what's been happening. Is that true for you as well? Yeah. As you know, that I was back in Delaware. Most of you know I was back in Delaware with Ed and our family there because Ed's father made his transition a couple weeks ago, and we attended his funeral. And all of the congregating happened around the table as we were gathering together and sharing memories of our Papa Joe and the love that we have for him and the love that we have for each other. Everything was gathering. All of all of it was gathering around the family table. And how appropriate it is that we have now started 2024 and our new theme of Together We Rise, you see it behind me here. Our new theme for 2024 is Together We Rise. And our new format here is the morning table. It is an opportunity for us to come together in community and love up on each other and share with one another and go deeper together and understand principle and practice together in a deeper, richer way. Would you agree? Yeah, I am so excited. I mean, one, we got to start at 11 o'clock. Hallelujah. Right? Two, Frank, I have my coffee. Yes. All right. I ain't mad at me. That's good. Thank you. As you can see when you came in, there is coffee, there are snacks, there's pastries, there's fruit. I hope you grab some of that. Feel free at any time during this morning's experience to get up and grab some more snacks or coffee or whatever you need to do. We are in a whole new format. So this is our community. This is our family. We are coming together as such. So if you got to get up in the middle of the conversation, head to the little girls' room or the little boys' room or the little them room, it doesn't matter. Go take care of yourself, okay? And just come on back, right? You might miss a little something, but you're not going to miss everything. So just come on back, right? Sound good? All right, fantastic. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Because I can. All right. So the reason we're wanting to do this differently is we have been called through visioning. We have been looking at visioning, where we've been visioning for our center for years now, of course. And in particular, we've been visioning since we decided we were going to place the property on the market to sell. We've been visioning for our new space, right? And what's been coming through is as this new way of gathering, this new format of gathering. And then what really came through is, wait a minute, we don't have to wait for a new space to do the new thing. So here we are doing the new thing in a familiar space, right? As we are continuing to move and evolve and do something different. What was coming through and what has been coming through probably since, well, before 2020, but definitely during 2020 and after, is that there is a new way of connecting. There's a new way of being in spiritual community together that is being called forth and that has been calling us. And we've been waiting, not just us here, but a lot of folks in CSL. We've been waiting for Spirit to reveal, like, all right, so what is the new way? What's the new way of gathering? What's the new way of being together? Because what we know is that the old way, the sit and get, wasn't working. People were feeling disconnected because you're just looking at the back of each other's heads, right? You know, is my cowlick sticking up today? Right? You were just looking at the back of people's heads the whole time. Now, in this new way of being together, we get to interact, we get to talk, we get to have conversations, we get to take the ideas that we are sharing together deeper at the table. And you get to take them deeper at the table with one another and have conversation and really apply spiritual truth, spiritual principle, and spiritual practice right in the very moment, right when it's really fresh in your mind, so that you can begin to embody it within you. You can begin to apply it directly to your own life, right here, right now, in this moment. You don't have to go home and like later on when somebody asks you, so what did you talk about at the center today? You go, well, Jeff sang this really good song, and Rev Jeff talked about oneness? Homework, right? Yeah. Well, honey, that is something that ain't changed. I'll tell you that. You're still going to have homework. Right? But so this gives us that opportunity in the now moment to share and to begin to integrate and then allow it to percolate in here. There's coffee reference, percolate in here, and then take it outside with you into the larger space, because we're anchoring it in here. And this also gives us an opportunity to really get to know each other more, to really engage with one another, to really connect with one another, to talk with one another. So I'm just going to put you on notice now, put you on blast, maybe. Don't think you're going to get to come in here every Sunday and sit with the same people. What's the point of that? Right? What's the point of that? So if we see it, know that I have a plan. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. So you've been warned, you've been told, you've been informed. All right. Because it's really about getting to know one another and supporting one another and loving each other and going deeper together. Would you agree? Yes, absolutely. So as we've been going through this, what we've been wanting is we've been wanting this new experience. We envisioning, we were seeing like, okay, deeper engagement, deeper connection. I really want to feel a larger part, that this is even more my community than ever before. I want to know who's around me. I want to know who I'm in community with. I want to know and express and share and hear what's going on in their lives and hear their perspectives and hear how their life experiences are similar to mine and how they're different from mine and how we can learn and grow from each other. This was all coming through envisioning. It was all coming through envisioning. This isn't just me. This is the collective. When I say I, this is the collective I. It's all y'all too, right? It's the high idea. It is Spirit's idea that's been being revealed through this. And one of the things that we saw was joy and smiles and laughter and hugs and support and love. And we saw circles and we saw groups and we saw tables and uproarious laughter. And it was a fun time as we were visioning. We like, when we would finish visioning, it was like, whoo, that was fun. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And look, lo and behold, here we are, January 7th, doing it. Woo! Right? So as I've shared with you before, this is the way vision works. We didn't like sit here and go, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to force it to happen, right? We weren't like squeezing and trying to give birth to it. We simply allowed it to happen, right? We took step by step, action by action, and then all of a sudden it was like, here it is, here we are. We didn't have to effort. We didn't have to like force anything to happen. We didn't have to like think, okay, I'm going to make it happen this way and it's going to look like this. Yes, that came later, but it wasn't a quick like, oh, here's an idea. Let's do this, right? It's been supported all along spiritually. It's been supported all along as a high idea for this community, our beloved community, I want you to know that there are 10 tables in here, and all 10 tables are full. Right? Amazing. So, and it's great, and it's exciting, and we only grow from here. Yeah. All right. So, this is the way in which we look at the vision. The vision was telling us that if we want to experience something different, we must do something different. Would you agree? You want to experience something different, you got to do something different, right? But not just doing something different, we also have to feel differently about it. Because I can say, well, yeah, I want to lose 200 pounds, though I would weigh nothing. I would want to, you know, I'd want to lose 200 pounds or what have you. You can say you want to lose, right? That could be an intention that you set that you want to lose, but there's no feeling, there's no oomph behind it, there's no real why behind it, there's no passion behind it, there's not any excitement behind it. So if you really want to change something, if you really want to do something different, you have to, if you want to experience something different, you have to do something different, but you also have to feel differently about it, right? Because if I feel like, oh, that's going to be hard, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to eat any of those donuts. I'm not going to be able to drink my coffee. I'm going to have to go for a run. Oh God. Right? If I'm coming at it with that kind of an attitude or that kind of approach, then what really happens is, how long am I going to really work on this change and doing something different? Not very long, right? Which is why New Year's resolutions don't really work. We resolve to do something different. And the energy behind it is drudgery, right? And so by, I think the official date, I think I saw it, is January 16th. By January 16th, those New Year's resolutions, so like 2 weeks and 2 days into the new year, those New Year's resolutions are gone. And then we're upset. And then we're eating all of the Texas trash pie that Sandra brought, the Texas trash pie, right? And it's just gone, right? We've just eaten it all. So, um, so we have to have a new attitude, a new idea, a new feeling behind it. So here we've got this new feeling that's happening. You can feel the energy in the room. You can feel the excitement in the room. There's like, ooh, look at all this. Look at all the goodies in the center of the table. Look at all these things happen, right? We came in and everything's different. And wow, I've already had an opportunity to chat with some friends. We had a question, a pre-funk question, if you will, where we had a would you rather? Would you rather spend New Year or celebrate New Year, A, at a big New Year's Eve party, or B, at a silent retreat on January 1st? So how many are A, party hardy? Of course, Frank and Helen. Yeah, yeah. All right. And how many would rather do a silent retreat? All right, lots of silent retreat folks. Yeah. Yeah, combine both, right? Party at the retreat. There we go. Yeah. Depending on how much you drink the night before, then you might have a silent retreat, the next day. Right? So how much you party the night before, right? Might determine, right? So we also have those questions, those icebreaker questions for you at the beginning of each morning, and those will be on the screens for you, and they'll be available for you at home as well. But it's great to have all of you joining us there online on Zoom. So, what I want to do here now is I want to go to tables. So part of the format is not you just sitting there around the table, kind of looking at me, kind of looking at the band, kind of looking at each other. The idea here is about engagement. So let's talk about some rules for engagement this morning, shall we? You ready? Okay. So rules for engagement. 1, this is a safe space. We want to create a safe space. We want to be able to have a good time. We want to be able to laugh. We want to be able to share with one another, but we want to be able to do so in a safe way. So, in order to create a safe space, first, use I statements. Speak about your own personal experience. Don't say, well, Cindy, when you do this, am experiencing, or, how when you go to the bathroom or you eat too much food or you go to the park or you. No. I. When I eat too much, when I go to the park, when I. So we're going to speak from the I statements, not the you statements. Yes? All right. Then, no advice giving. No advice giving. So this looks like, Frank, I think you ought to get me a new car. It could be, huh? Yeah, he ought to. Yeah. Yeah, no. Right? So none of this, you should, you ought to, I think you could, and none of it being sneaky. Well, Vicki, I had a similar situation to yours, and this is what I did. Guess what? That's advice giving, even though you're in the I statements. Don't do it. Don't do it, right? So stay out of the advice statements. When we're speaking to one another, listen to understand. Listen to understand. Hear what each other is saying, hear what each other is sharing. Certainly enter into conversation, but really listen to understand. Listen to the lived experience of the beloveds around your table. Listen, not to go, oh, I have another idea about that, or oh, I have a point about that, or oh, right? Listen to understand. Then, be mindful of the time. Share the time with one another, okay? Don't monopolize the conversation, all right? I know some of us, we like to talk, we like to tell a story, and then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, nobody else had an opportunity to speak, right? So engage in the conversation, but be mindful of the conversation, be mindful of the time, be mindful of what you're sharing and how much time. We want to give everybody time to speak and time to share. So I don't want you to like squish yourself, and just be mindful, right? So on your tables, there is a piece of paper there in the center of the table. There's a little slip of paper that has the questions for the table topic today, that has the table topics, the questions for today. Now then, I want you to know here that you do not have to get through all the questions. So for my people who love a linear process and who feel like, all right, we gotta make sure that we get all three questions and we gotta hear from everybody. So go, 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 go. Relax. Breathe. You would not do that at home. Allow the conversation to unfold. So the conversation topics that you have today are: the first question that you could or could not use, whatever you want to, is taken into account all of 2023. What would you like to let go of? Because what do we know? If we are going to embrace something new, we kind of need to make room, so we need to let go of something. So that's one of the questions. The second question is, what would you like to experience differently in 2024? And what makes you excited about this experience? What makes you excited about this experience? So those questions are on the TV screens. Those questions on Zoom, you have those questions. Reverend Zena has put those questions into Zoom. And in Zoom, you are going to go to a table. Reverend Zena is going to break you out into tables for you to be able to discuss with one another these questions. You'll have approximately 20 minutes to really dive into this discussion, 15 minutes, 15 to 20. So you'll have about 15 to 20 minutes to really dive into these questions and share with one another what and engage in the conversation around these questions. Because remember, if you want to experience something different, you have to what? Do something different. If you want to experience something different, you have to do something different. So the something different for today is we're going to chat at tables. You ready? Any questions, comments, emotional outbursts? Well, all right. And you may begin. Happy conversing. You're each leaving here with your own personal experience of something that you've heard today. So, as promised, tomorrow, homework. So, your homework this week is to identify one action that you can take this week to experience the new. Identify one action. It doesn't have to be a big action, it can be a small action, but you're going to identify one action that you can take this week to experience what it is that you're wanting to experience, the new that you're wanting to experience. Then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to put it on your calendar, because if you don't put it on your calendar, you ain't going to do it. It's not going to happen. So put it on your calendar. Schedule a time that you are going to take that action. Then once you have it scheduled, guess what? Do it. Right? Don't just say you're going to do it. Do it. And do it with that attitude of joy, that attitude of excitement, that attitude of wonderfulness, so that the energy that you are putting into it makes the difference and causes the difference to happen and the change to occur. Sound good? So remember, if you want to experience something different, you have to do something different. Absolutely. So wonderful. Breathe that in. Woo. Let it out. All right. Just come together in consciousness for a moment. I recognize that right here and right now, there simply is just the one life, the one power, the one presence, the one infinite eternal that is moving in all, through all, as all. We are one with it, inseparable from it. I live, move, breathe, and have my being in it, and it in and as through me, and in and as through all of us gathered here this day at this morning table. It's one life that has brought us together by divine appointment, together at this morning table to share, to convene, to converse, to support one another, to love one another, to be a greater expression of itself with one another. And so I speak my word here and now for this beloved community as we move forward in the new year in 2024, that we do so as one family, that we do so in joy, in light, in love, that we do so as we deepen together and we grow together and we understand and we apply and we practice together. This truly is the meaning of coming together in spiritual community, supporting and loving one another as we experience our lives together, and together we rise. And I speak a word here now in memory of our beloved Francis Drake, knowing that life is eternal, that love does not die, people do. And when all that's left of us is love, then we give it away. We share the love. And so I recognize here and now that Frances has gone on to her higher next yet to be. That her form has fallen away, but the love that she is, the love that she was, is the love that she will always be. And she continues to live on in our hearts, in our memories, and in our lives. And we share this love that Frances is with one another, and we share it with everyone we come into contact with. That right where we are, the power and the presence of love is. The power and the presence that Frances was is. And so we give it away. We give it freely. We give it joyously. We give it in great celebration. And for this, I do give thanks in honor of her memory and in honor of her magnificent life in this parentheses of eternity. And so I simply let this word be, giving thanks for it all. I release it into law, knowing it is done, knowing it is so. And together we say, and so it is.